So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in right now. We're going to manage. Okay, that's a lot better.
That's
Oh,
better? Okay.
a lot better. Thank you. Thank
The,
you,
sh-
Father.
the show must go on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So welcome, Giselle. So I am
Thank
about to
you.
introduce our next speaker coming to us. Oh my goodness, all the way from Trinidad. That's right. She's coming to us all the way from Trinidad. And girl, I appreciate you. So Giselle Allen Clement is going to coach Giselle Allen Clement. Is coming to us all the way from Trinidad. And she's going to be talking to us today about overcoming transition paralysis. That's right. We talk about change, we talk about embracing change and transition, and how awesome and how on time is this topic. Overcoming transition paralysis. Please take it away, Giselle.
Thank you so much, Christy. And again, thank you for the opportunity to come into your space and to share with your community this key topic, especially in the times that we are currently facing. Again, I greet you from the beautiful islands of Trinidad and Tobago, all the way in the Caribbean. But the thing that connects us is that we all, as coaches, we have a passion to serve and to share our expertise. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here today. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I hate traveling. Yes, you heard me. I hate traveling. So I know some friends and my colleagues in the US and other parts of the world, they are moaning that, this pandemic has cut our wings, as it were, and that we can't travel as we like. But I'm not concerned because I hate traveling. Imagine every time I have to take a trip, and as I pack and I'm folding each piece of clothing, I feel the tension to the back of my neck building. I start to cold sweat. My stomach is in knots. I even get to the point where I'm physically nauseated and I feel to run to the bathroom to vomit because of this impending journey. I really hate traveling. And so imagine experiencing all these intense emotions every time you have to go through a transition in your life. Today, I'm here to speak to you about overcoming transition paralysis. You see, every one of us will go through a transition in our life. As long as we remain on this earth, we will go through a transition. Transition comes in two ways. One, either you choose the transition or the transition chooses you. Either way, you will go through a transition. And a transition could be anything, big, small, and everything in between. You're getting married. You're ending a marriage through divorce. You're moving to a different state. You're moving to a different country. You're changing careers mid-career. You're starting a new diet. Any and everything is a transition. But the problem, and that's where I come in, is that we end up being stuck in the middle. And that's why I have coined the term transition paralysis. You become paralyzed. And just as I experience those intense emotions every time I think about traveling, You experience some of the same emotions every time you have to go through a transition in your life. You experience the fear. You experience that sense of uncertainty, that sense of foreboding, the anxiety. You may even be experiencing excitement, but at the back of that excitement, the fear creeps in. And it is this uncertainty about what is next as you navigate through this life transition is what keeps you in that state of paralysis. And so over the years, I have come to some conclusions, and I want to share with you 3 steps in overcoming transition paralysis. You know, the second speaker, and I had to smile at myself because every speaker, we have been touching on some of the same things. And it caused me to realize that this is really an important step in overcoming. And as our theme said, embracing change and transformation. So if you really want to embrace change, and if you really want to embrace transformation, you must start with this first step. And that step is establishing a mindset of resilience, or a resilient mindset. Resilience means the ability to bounce back, the ability to take pressure, the ability to withstand. So as you think about the transition that you are facing, whatever it is, you need to assess, do some self-analysis. You need to do some internal analysis. And you need to think, can your mind withstand the pressures and the rigors of this transition? How resilient are you in the face of this transition? And you know, I'm speaking and I say we because I have been there. And there's nothing wrong in coming to the conclusion, you know, I'm not that resilient. I probably thought I was a bit more resilient, but I'm not that resilient. And if that is your answer, that's okay today. But your ability to withstand as you journey through your transition is important in overcoming transition paralysis. And one good technique that I tell my clients, start speaking, start affirming what is going to happen. I am going to get through this. Come what may, I will get to the other side. And you know, we often hear about words of affirmation, and sometimes they become buzzwords. But really and truly, as the third speaker, the one who spoke on communication, knowing something and applying something, 2 different things. So as you apply these words of affirmation to yourself and to your situation as you go through the transition, what you will realize is that your mind lines up with what you are professing or with what you are confessing. And bit by bit, you build the resilience. The fear doesn't take over. Yeah? And you tell yourself that you will conquer this transition. The second step in overcoming transition paralysis is establishing a transition plan and a vision for your transition. As a vision coach, my job is to help women establish a vision, a personal vision for their lives. We often have lofty ideas, but as the word of God says, you need to write the vision and you need to make it clear and make it plain. And so that's when I step in. I help women to write the vision and make it plain, the vision suitable to them. Not a copy of someone else's vision, but the vision that is suitable to them. And in establishing that personal vision or that personal transition plan, you need to understand that sometimes you need to pivot the vision. And that is all a part and parcel of a transition. Because as you go through the transition, you need to understand that I might have to move away from my original plan. And that is what we mean by pivoting the vision. You have to be flexible. You have to be adapting. You have to be accommodating. And so with step 1 in place, establishing a resilience mindset, step 2 can kick in as you work your vision, as you work your transition plan, as you understand that as you pivot and you accommodate and you adapt and you come back at it again, you continue to move through your transition to the other side, to the next season in your life. And the third step in overcoming transition paralysis is creating an action plan. You see, it's good enough to have the overall vision, and sometimes we stop right there. But we then need to take it down a bit, break it down a bit. You know, think of assembling a puzzle. At the end of building that big puzzle, we say, wow. But then if you're like me, I like to break it up again and then assemble it again. And by the time I do that about 3 times, I know this puzzle. I could build it in my sleep. So this third step of creating an action plan is like that puzzle, breaking it apart, breaking it into its finite components, and then putting it back again. So every step of the way, you know the plan. Step 1, establishing a resilience mindset. Step 2, creating an overall vision or transition plan. And step 3, breaking it down into a roadmap or an action plan. All 3 components working together to get you over transition paralysis. And you know what, friends? Over the years, what I've found as I worked these 3 steps together, that the fear and those intense emotions about going through a life transition has become less. My perspective and my approach to a transition has become, okay, you know what? Let's put this in context. I take the lessons out of the transition and then I use that to propel me forward. And so today, I just wanted to share those 3 steps with you. The next time you are going through a transition, whatever it is, if you are in a transition right now, you lost your job, and so you're transitioning between jobs, don't get stuck. Don't stay in that place of paralysis, longing for what was, that's gone, that's behind you. Don't stay in that place of paralysis, longing for the comfortable environment that you once knew. But speak to yourself and say to yourself, I will get through this transition. I would not allow this transition to paralyze me. And so, if you want to contact me to get in on some of the workshops that I offer on managing transition, creating a vision or a transition plan, and creating a roadmap in executing a transition, you can email me at pearlsofgreatprice1@gmail.com. Again, pearlsofgreatprice1@gmail.com. And just a way to say thank you to Christy's audience, her tribe, her community, I have already placed in the comments a free ebook, Lessons Learned from Transition. I wrote this ebook out of my experience. And so you could use this as a tool if you are in a transition right now to get you on that journey out of your transition. Using that ebook, you will be equipped with tools to successfully navigate out of life's disruptive transition. I thank you again for your attention. Blessings and blessings. Thank you, Christy. Back to you.
All right, all right. Overcoming transition paralysis. It is a topic that I know too well. Overcoming transition paralysis. And you talked about pivoting in what
Yes,
perfect timing and in what perfect subject to talk about on today's summit, because that's become our reality right now, pivoting.
yes,
And we
that's
are
right.
and doing our business online, or we are pivoting and doing something different because what we used to do doesn't work no more. No more
No
clients,
more.
your clients dependent. If you're dependent on your clients' live events, well, you have to pivot.
That's
And
right.
this is just what the masters call for on this summit. Pivoting,
Thank you.
overcoming,
Yes.
pivoting, overcoming transition paralysis. So I thank you so much. You're dropping up a lot of nuggets. Audience, please be sure to take her up on her offer ebook that she talked about on how to overcome transition paralysis. It make it a lot,
Yes.
yeah, somebody who's speaking from experience. So please go on over and take advantage of her offer. Let me see
That,
if anyone has any. Let me see. Okay, I don't see
questions.
any question. Great job. You were the audience. I appreciate you.
No
And
problem.
we'll do it again. And again, you and I belong to another group, and I'm going to be talking to you again. And thank you so much, all the way
Thank
from
you.
Trinidad and Tobago, Jiselle Allen Clement. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.